Hello, everyone. Well, this is a
Ah,
try with Zoom, but I'm coming to you live. I'm not live, but in the recording from Greece, Athens, Greece, and Susan from Sedona. And we are going to talk about what is the energies during this week. Actually, it's been a week and a half or almost 2 weeks that we haven't come to you because it's been wild. It just hasn't stopped with rules, regulations when I was traveling. I mean, I almost did not take little Chanti with me in the plane because
wow.
supposedly they didn't have the specific paperwork they needed. And they never asked me for anything like this, before. All of a sudden, rules change. And the other thing that I feel that a lot is happening is a lot of fear, just tremendous fear out there that is actually showing up in the world. And not, we'll ask Susan about Sedona, but this is with my travels. And it's just been one thing after another. There's no stopping and intensity. I mean, I have gone to Greece and I'm still jet lagged, but I'm working till 12, 1 o'clock at night, that's not my normal schedule. I'm normally in bed by 9 o'clock. So it's just on. It's like I feel like we are on and the energy is on and is going, and it's not stopping. Today was just a little bit a better day, but I'm still dealing with computers and transferring things and phones, and it's just one thing after another. So what I like to do is have Susan on right now and see so she can tell us what's going on in Sedona.
Well, it's exactly the same thing. It just feels there's a lot going on. And in the interim, there's a lot of exhaustion.
Yes.
So I know I have jet lag. I don't have jet lag, but I took 2 naps yesterday because I had to go out into the world. That's how exhausting the energies feel out there. The good news is whenever there's nice weather, it helps. So it's been beautiful weather, so that helps, but it scares me when I go out there because the traffic, although it's not real bad right now, people aren't paying attention. And so no matter where I go, I have to be so vigilant because the drivers are in a bit of an altered state. I was just telling you, it's like non-ordinary reality is what's going on right now. And so driving can be a bit precarious because you have to be so alert because people are just, it's like it's like bumper cars out there. It's crazy. Even though the traffic is not what it could be. It's not as bad. But yeah, it's be careful. Be careful time. And my understanding, there's been a lot of talk about solar flares coming up and the coronal mass ejections coming up. So I think we have a whole week of that coming up. So if you haven't heard about it yet, be aware. Be aware that that's going on. I think that's changing our planet through the solar aspect. So that's coming up as well. And who knows how that's going to impact the world, the fear. Pick your pleasure. There's so much you can tap into regarding fear right now. It's everywhere.
I agree, and when I was in Los Angeles and this lady was saying to me, I'm sorry, you cannot take your dog on the plane. It was like she was implying you can go on the flight, but your dog has to stay out of the flight. And she didn't like things like, I know, like her bag, and she didn't have her chip, and she does, but she didn't have paperwork. And it was on and on. And she put this tremendous energy of fear on me. And you know what I did, Susan? Because I like to really, when I go through stuff, I think it's very valuable to explain and to tell our viewers, because also I tell my students, I sat back and she didn't let me go on the first flight. And I just prayed. I said, okay. She didn't let me go on the first flight. She left and she goes, well, there's nothing you can do. You need to go back to LA, or you need to go find this doctor with your suitcase. I mean, it was like, it was, I want to call it excruciating fear and pain that she was putting on me. So I just covered myself with light and I just said, I know I'm going to be in Greece. I know I'm flying this time because it was in my feelings. Before I wasn't able to go, correct? Remember?
Yeah.
Like I was for a week that I wasn't able to go and I didn't go the first time. But this time I knew. So I just sat in my center and she left. and this other guy comes in from the same counter and said, you know what, let me see what I can do. You're going to go on the next flight no matter what. So the angel showed up and protected me and saved me, and my flight was very smooth, but I had to center. And to me, that's the most important thing. Like you're saying, we got to be vigilant when we're driving, but it's having awareness of our sender, having awareness of who we are, and intuitively where are we going.
Yeah, so that's beautiful. So maybe before we even go outside, make sure we take that time to center and surround ourselves with the light vortex, or maybe
Yes.
not the vortex, but the light. So how beautiful that, yeah, because eventually we're all going to find ourselves in situations like that. So
Absolutely.
what we do when we're there.
Absolutely. And I felt like I sat back and I was like, okay, I'm in my center, I'm in my grounding. I know I'm leaving. There's a way that it's going to happen. I know Spirit's going to help me. And this guy showed up and said, you know what, let me just find a way out for you. And no one checked me in Germany. She was like, oh, if you don't have your chip, they're not going to let you go in Germany. And the dog's going to go in quarantine. And I'm like, I never heard this before. I've been traveling to Europe for like the past 30 years. There's no quarantine in Europe. But she was trying to find anything to put fear in me,
Yeah.
And this happened. Like this negative energy is trying to put fear in us. And we got to let go of this fear. We got to shift it. We cannot hold on to this fear. We got to tap into ourselves and into our intuition and really allow things for Spirit to take to take over. And the most important thing was I did like a big prayer in the plane and thanked and everything. And the flight was the smoothest flight as I've been on now, because there's a lot of bumps.
Oh, nice.
And it was really nice. So I don't know about you and what's going on over there, if you have any explanations for
Perfect, because there's so many places that fear can tap into us. Like I said, pick your pleasure. There's many places. And so if we just do a total boundary of love and light so that the fear cannot attach, I think that's the most valuable information we can get today and for the week going forward.
And solar flares also bring a lot of stuff in us, correct? There's also bring a lot of fear, and maybe we can feel a little bit depressed, or we can feel a little bit anxious, or we're tired. Oh my God, I've been so tired. I haven't slept except last night. Finally, I went to sleep. I haven't slept for days. I told you the other night I went to 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, that's not me.
That's very unlike you. Yeah.
And it's like I catch up on jet lag, So, but you had the same thing. You couldn't go to sleep either. So
couldn't able to sleep either.
The energy goes back and forth with us. It's so great for us, for me to come from Greece and for you to come from Sedona. And also next week I'll be in South of France. So let's see there.
I wish I were going to be in the South of France with you, but I'm holding space here in Sedona.
You need to do, honey. Some of us need to stay, so and then I hold space in Europe.
Yeah. Well, it's good to know that the energy is not just here, not just held in this room, not just held in this place, that it is global energy that's affecting all of us. And a lot of it is because of what the sun is going to be doing, because we're a solar planet.
And we have to, this is why we're doing this, correct? To tell all over the world that it's not just in Sedona. We can feel it maybe more intensely, but the outside world will bring us fear. And Sedona, sometimes we cannot feel fear, So it's very important. It's very important to be able for us to stay not in fear and to have total protection within ourselves, It's very powerful.
Yeah.
So
this
we
is
just
what's going on, and this is how some things you can do to help override that.
Absolutely. And just stay in your intuition, and just stay in your grounding, and saying stay here, and knowing that you're supposed to do this, and it's very important. Anyway. Thank you for joining me, and we're going to do another one. Maybe I will be in South of France and I will connect with you.
Yay. Yeah.
Well, audience, thank you. Please subscribe. Please, like us. Please make comments. We really like coming to you every week, and we are going to come to you with more and more interesting things, because I'm going to be traveling for the next 3 months for sure, and Susan will be in Sedona, so we get both of the globally. We'll be global. That's where we'll be, like,
Global.
right?
Yes.
Global.
Love to all of our subscribers, and much love to you, Zeffi.
Thank you, honey. I really appreciate it. Love you all, and we'll see you soon.